1981, I had a near-death experience that changed my life forever at the age of 14. And I like to share it with everyone because I want people to know that there is another side. It was a routine visit, and my mom had to take me to the dentist, and they found a cavity, and they gave me laughing gas, which we called sweet air back in the day. And I remember still feeling the pain, and the dentist was in the room, the dentist assistant, my mom was sitting on a chair. So they turned it up. I heard the dentist say to the assistant, turn it up, meaning the nitrous oxide. And about 30 seconds later, I found myself starting to float out of my body upward towards the ceiling. Now I'm looking face down at them working on my teeth, my mom, the assistant, and I'm saying, hello, hello, can you hear me, hello? And then I was pulled through the ceiling of the dentist office. I started to go up into the sky and into this portal, this energy, this vortex, this tunnel of some sort. And when I was pulled in it, it was dark, very dark in there and huge. I was going very, very fast. I couldn't even explain the amount of speed that my spirit energy was being pulled through. And it was complete darkness. And there were turns, and it was very windy. It wasn't very straight. I remember turning in there and all sorts of things. And then I came to a slower point, and I started to hear melodies, soothing, soothing melodies. Now, what I'm seeing is through the mind's eye, the spirit eye, because now the physical part of me is still at the dentist office. And then I'm being pulled really fast again. I reach the end of the tunnel, and a tremendous, beautiful light opens up into the sky. This magnificent sky that we don't have here. We have a sky, but we don't have this perfection of beauty that I seen. There was like a brightness that was overwhelming and with love and energy. And I seen these tremendous gates to the right side of me, these golden gates, very, very tall and wide, like miles. It was huge. And then I'm being pulled through this garden. Now, there's no time on that side in the spirit realm. There's no time at all. Time does not exist. So I don't know the time I was there. And the physical realm was gone. It's as if my spirit body, my soul had taken back its true essence of form and went back home. And I'm drifting now through these fields. And the fields are beautiful. They're immense. They're perfection. There's no other word for it. The trees, the leaves, the roses, the flowers. I'm drifting through this scenery, and I'm feeling at the same time now this vibrational energy of pureness thing. I'm connected to everything. No such thing as a negative thought, a low vibration. This was home, heaven. I would call it heaven. And this angelic being coming towards me as a form of levitation through the fields. And she had long blonde hair, crystal blue eyes, no wings, very angelic, very spiritual, mystifying. And she was able to pull me through vibration, not by touch, but by vibration through these fields and into a garden. The garden is second to none. The garden is euphoric. And as she's pulling me through this vibrational energy, I can feel her thoughts, her emotional love. And then she drifts me off to the left where I see a park bench, and I see two elderly people sitting on the bench, and then this angelic being drifts away. And I'm getting closer and closer to these two people. And then they turn around, and it's my grandparents. Now, my grandmother died earlier that year, and my grandfather I never met because he was deceased before I was born. He looked like he was in his 60s. A very good look, not like a 60s in the physical realm, like a glowing 60. And he looks at me and says, hello, Sonny. And I says, Grandpa. And I smiled with this love and this, wow, I finally get to meet you. And I turn, I look at my grandma, I'm like, Grandma. She looks at me, and she's not smiling, and I'm confused. And she points her finger, and she says, go back now. And I says, Grandma, one more time, and I'm being pulled backwards now into a tunnel. And I'm going very, very fast, in this tunnel, and through my mind's consciousness of love and what I seen, I don't want to go back into the physical realm. I don't want to be pulled back. I want to be there with them. And I remember coming to a stop in the tunnel, a complete stop. No melodies, nothing. People ask me, what is the most horrifying thing about a near-death experience? In one sense, it's being nothing in nowhere in the tunnel. At one point, I felt like I was never going to be found, alone, afraid, and through my thoughts of my mind, my conscious mind, my spirit mind, I'm pulling myself back to heaven. And once I reached the light again on the other side, I was pulled back one more time, very, very fast, through the sky, through this open portal that's tremendous and not visible to the eye, only to the spirit eye, and through the ceiling of a hospital and right back into the body as if I slipped into a glove. And I knew where I was, I knew where I went. But when I was on the other side, in heaven, this side, for some strange reason, I guess when we completely die, there's more to the experience on the other side. Again, that side is bliss. There's no other way to explain it. But I woke up breathing heavy, and I had an allergic reaction to the nitrous oxide, which I was allergic to. I guess obviously no one knew, and it stopped my breathing. I tried to explain when I became aware and went back home where I was. I said, Mom, I was in heaven. Back in the early 80s, this is 1981, it's very hard for people to comprehend and understand. They've heard of stories, but there was no internet. There was no shows on people who claimed to have been in heaven. I didn't believe it, for one. Not at all. But where I was, there's no explanation. I'm 54 years old today, and I can tell the world, and I promise you that we go on. The scariest part about the physical realm that we go through is I don't want to die because I'm afraid to die, which is mostly understandable for every one of us, right? Especially myself, even though I went through this. No one wants to die. And the fear of death and pain, and then picturing yourself, whether you're, 6 feet under or however. But you see, I was given this life lesson for a reason. One way I call myself the messenger to help other people, grieving families, people who say, I'll never see my loved one again. I promise you that that's not true. That is not true. You're going to see them again. We are all energy. We're a vibrational energy. And when you're on that side, we take back the true form and the essence of us. And people today ask me, well, what do you look like on this side? We look like the perfect fit of our soul's energy. Perfection. Those with missing limbs in the physical realm, or blindness, or any kind of sickness or disease, it does not exist on this side. Again, this is the true perfect form of energy of us. It's the silhouette of beauty of us. I didn't see God because the light that I was in was God. The light was the creator. The light is everything. The light is the true essence of everything that exists that's alive. God is the light. God is the love.